Hello and welcome to another video. In this one we're going to be going over world building basics. We're going to be going over where to start. So you have to start with an idea, and I can't just tell you what your idea is going to be. Unfortunately, I wish I could just push a magic button and give you all the ideas you could ever need for your world building and where to start with your world building. But since I can't do that, I'm going to start with something kind of basic, and let's go with something. Oh, and here is the writer's eternal struggle. Where does the idea begin? Where do we get the idea from? So, the tools I like to use to help avoid that problem are ChatGPT for brainstorming, fantasy name generators for names, and I just have a WordPad doc open for notes and writing everything down until I'm ready to do more with it. So let's just go with try to think of something very simple that we can use as an example. Let's just go with something right off of here. So we've just got a big forest. A big forest. This is where we're going to start. And that's all you need to start with. You just need something, an idea. Okay, so it's a big forest. What kind of forest is it? Well, I see a lot of pine trees in here, so we're going to say it's a pine forest. Pine forests are usually northern. Okay, not always, but often they are northern. And this is world building. We are starting to build out a world. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that writers make, and experienced and new alike, is trying to do too much too quickly, thinking that you need like this fully formed world right at the beginning, and you spend so much time world building that you never end up writing your story. And then you've created this fictional encyclopedia about a world, and nobody gives a shit. Okay, except you. And I'm not saying that if you enjoy world building for the sake of world building, then that's fine. That is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I used to, well, I still do to a degree. I've been telling myself stories since I was a little kid. That's how I got into doing this whole thing. I had trouble sleeping, have had trouble sleeping my whole life, so I'd tell myself stories and come up with ideas and stories and worlds and things in my head, and that's how I got into fiction. Unfortunately, it wasn't until more recently that I was able to use some different tools, AI tools and whatnot, to get past some issues I have with being more productive, which allowed me to finally finish some drafts and get those edited and whatnot. But I've been doing this most of my life, to some degree, and kind of going back to the point is that you don't need everything at the beginning. You just need what you need, essentially. So we can say that without an actual story idea, it's kind of hard to talk about world building. So we're going to go ahead and say it's a big forest, a pine forest, northern pine forest, and let's look here and say we've got a woodcutter. Okay, it's a story about a woodcutter that is in this forest, and we'll go with a chosen one story. Okay, it's a story about a woodcutter, chosen one story. Is this chosen one going to save the entire world or just going to save the forest? Let's just save the forest. This person is a chosen one that's going to save the forest. So that means that really the world building we really need for at least this first story, it could end up being 10 novels. But for right now, all we need is the forest itself. Okay? We don't need what happened in Three Kingdoms over 500 years ago. We don't need to know that yet. Maybe later, but we don't need to know it now. We just need to know what's happening in this forest right now, and then build on that some, and that's the world building. Okay? So I think this video, I'm going to leave it here because that's how you start. You start with an idea, and then you build it from there. Okay? As long as you have that first starting location, everything else is just a matter of adding more details and building it out over time. Okay? And that really is the only secret there is to getting started with world building, is knowing where you need to start and then adding in more details and more places as needed. Okay? So thank you very much for watching. Hit the subscribe button, leave a comment letting me know what you struggle with your world building. I'll get to those comments either through more videos, or I will talk to you directly in the comments as possible. And share and all the good YouTube stuff, and I do have resources in the description that you can check out if you are so inclined. Thank you very much for watching again. I'll see you on the next one. Later.